She asked me, she asked me if I loved her, and I was empathetic but lacked reciprocity. I mean, I loved the way that she loved me. Maybe because I didn't love myself enough, or maybe I loved myself too much selfishly instead of selflessly. I mean, there were things that I loved about her, but truth was, I knew I could live life without her, yet I continued to rent space in her temple between her walls, disturbing her peace and invading her privacy. You see, but she invited me. I mean, I was standing outside her threshold knocking. Perhaps she thought I looked like an opportunity waiting to give her a chance at true love finally. You see, she failed to recognize the vampire that resided inside of me, waiting on her blessing to come inside and suck her dry, both literally and figuratively. But I never lied to her. I mean, when she asked me if I loved her, I told her, I can't love you in a way that even I understand or love you in a way that really makes sense, but I love to learn your language. So I know exactly how to speak to you in your feminine dialect. So maybe when we hear the masculine accent in my voice, it'll vibrate with your chi and make you, I guess I could have just told her I wanted to talk dirty and have sex, but I'm a poet, right? So I spoke to her poetically, making it her responsibility to decipher my metaphor for what it really was. Retrospectively, I could see where perhaps I was attempting to be verbally pleasing to her sexuality without realizing, but I never lied to her. I mean, maybe I lied with her physically or spiritually when I tried to conceptualize my nonsense as innocence, and her too when she told herself, if I love him enough, I can love him into loving me. You see, she had mistaken this infatuation for more than just sex. She was wet behind the ears in love, damn near drowned in this gravitational pool of lust, mistaking my backstroke for a touch of affection, my breaststroke for a heart's connection to her. Temptation felt like a vibe to me. She was a flute of fine wine, and I was intent on binge drinking her, getting drunk with her, pouring myself into her, not realizing that I was just filling her up with regret. Until I felt a cup runneth over my cold shoulder, into my lukewarm soul, and I felt the need to hold her, console her, reconnect kinetically, transferring energy, magnetically attracting her misconception to my deception, her womb to the flow of my seed. She became the bearer of my fruit. Unknowingly, she had just picked from a rotten tree. You see, our roots didn't run deep, they didn't intertwine, and I didn't nurture her nature. And so the legacy of me fell like a dead leaf onto unfertile soil. And I can't help but wonder if it's because of the way that I lied with her that my legacy couldn't survive with her, but I didn't lie. Well, I didn't lie to her, not as much as I lied to myself. Or I should say, not as much as I lied to me, because myself had been starved of the God in me. I was so busy feeding the savage in me consistently until I was constipated, full of my own shit. I had to get 10 toes down and man up to see over the mound of it to realize that God is love. And God is self. And self-love was a necessity to giving love. And giving love was a necessity to being loved. And truth was, I just want to be loved and to be loved. If I could go back to when she asked me if I love her, maybe this time I tell her, I can only give you my truth and let you decide where it is that you want to lie, but I'm not going to lie to you to lie with you. And I don't want to lie with you if I'm not feeling spiritually aligned with you. Maybe if I could go back to when she asked me if I loved her, I just give her my truth and tell her, no. Poem. All right, appreciate you. So I'm gonna get out your hair. We got another feature coming up. But if you liked anything, you can always come to the table. Candles $20, books $20, and you can just get a bookmarker for $5 and get a coupon. Or if none of that suffices for you, you can just follow me. Right? That's it. That was just absolutely free at MoeFlowz. That's at MoeFlowz, MoeFlowz. Appreciate y'all.